Montclair High School. On the outside, it's not too different from other high schools. A mixed student body in a diverse community not too far from a major city.
But Montclair High School is different on the inside, where it counts. Because here the teachers and the community have acted on the belief that it takes a whole village to raise one child. They have gotten together in a unique volunteer program that seeks to help all Montclair students become the best they can be academically by helping every child become a writer. They call this program the Writer's Room.
The concept of the Writer's Room was born when someone asked Sheila Crowell and Ellen Kolbe, "How can we make what you do available to everyone at Montclair High School?" Professional writers Crowell and Kolbe began coaching student writers in 1989 because they wanted a place to try their ideas about the teaching of writing.
2 days next week, we'll be working 2 periods with 2 different English classes who are going to be writing papers on a short story they've read. And that teacher will send kids down in small groups, anywhere from 3 to 6 at a time, depending on how many coaches we have available. And we've been kind of scheduling our coaches on an ad hoc basis as a result, so that if we get a request, then we call up a few people and say, can you come in an extra period, or instead of coming 4th period, can you come 7th period? We need help then. And the results have been wonderful. I think one of the reasons we're working next week with this teacher is that we already did this for her, and what happened was that a number of students who really got very excited about the writing project they were working on. And it's no magic formula and no trick. It's simply the luxury that most classroom teachers don't have at all, of being able to give them one-on-one time. And every student should be able to experience that some of the time. Every writer needs that at some point in the process of creating a piece of writing. So we get students who come in before they've put anything on paper. We talk about their ideas. We help them decide what they're going to say and how they're going to organize it. Sheila showed you this kind of response. These are nicely typed because we used them in a workshop this year, so we have them typed up. But what coaches actually will be doing and are doing now is a student may come in with nothing on the paper. At the end of the session, that student will leave with a piece of paper on which the student or the coach or the two together have written out by hand, because we don't have computers, but we have these wonderful carbonless carbon forms instead. They will have written out by hand a summary of the discussion they've had with what the student is going to do next on paper. And the student takes a copy, we keep a copy in the writer's room. The next stage, the student comes back with a draft. And the student and whatever coach is there goes through the draft. And they will again discuss, as Sheila said, what works, what the paper still needs, and at the end of that session, fill out another form. It's just a blank piece of paper with room for the name and the teacher's name and so on at the top. The results of this discussion, and some of that may actually be reflected on the draft, and you'll see then at that point that the first draft will have additions on other pieces of paper, or words crossed out and things written in the margin, and you know, the more stuff there is on the page, the better it's going to be. And then the student goes with that and creates a final draft. And some of them come back and very proudly with their final drafts, which we Xerox and keep, because we keep a record, and you can see the process from those first notes through the final draft with the teacher's grade and comments on it. And this is what we want to keep on doing. We want to be able to do it every period of the day next year, and for that we do need a room of our own.
I think the important thing that's been happening is that once the students experience what it's like, they come back on their own. And that's always the mark of success for